There you go.
So it's not going to be long tonight. There's just a couple of us on here, so I just wanted to say who I am. Jennifer Doucet, director with Andrea. Was recruited by another gal and was under Christy Roach for a while. And yes, been a director since May of 2020. Hope to remain a director as of October 1st, but time will tell. So I was asked to do a little spiel on overcoming objections and closing sales. So I was just telling Mary Ellen and Jenna that the know, like, and trust factor is a big thing, as we know, in the sales industry. I've been in sales, involved in sales since I was a teenager, and my mom was a great sales lady, even though she was a registered nurse. But some of the objections, so we're talking about objections that you may hear. I sold cars for 5 years, and these are some of the objections that I did hear, and it kind of correlates with Pampered Chef as well. Price is a big thing, relationships and competitor relationships, time and resources. We talk about timing, product value, and people just like to drag their feet. So we don't have the budget. That's a big one. I can't afford that right now. I always used to tell people, and I still do that, like, did you realize that Pampered Chef has, I don't know what the percentage is now, but it used to be like 68% of our products are $30 or less. So that can be a starting point for you if people say they can't afford it. We talk about value. I always talk about value, especially when I'm doing markets. I talk to people one-on-one a lot. And I talk about the fact that my first product that I bought from Pampered Chef was a pizza cutter in 1997. And I also bought a veggie peeler in 1997, and I can still use those two products today. So that's what, 28 years ago. So, might have spent, I don't know, 15 bucks, 20 bucks on a pizza cutter. No, it wouldn't have even been 20 bucks. So way back in 1997. So it's certainly paid for itself over the years. And when I also used to have a scrapbooking store, I would hear that a lot. Like, well, that's really expensive. I can get that at the dollar store. Yes, you can get that at the dollar store. You can also get a mix and chop type thing at the dollar store, but you're going to be probably buying five of them as compared to the one you're going to buy from Pampered Chef that I've had for, I don't know, since whenever it came out. So yeah, so that's another objection that you might want to overcome is the value for the money that you may spend on a Pampered Chef product. So that's a good objection to get some facts and figures in your repertoire when you're talking to people. People like to drag their feet. Yeah, kind of always want to make it seem like it's like a not a Pampered Chef emergency, but this sale that we have coming up that's closing tomorrow, you want to make sure that people know. You want to make sure that you have that posted somewhere on your social media. We've got sales going on, and they're for a limited time only. Nothing worse than having a customer come to you on October 1st and going, yeah, I was wondering if I could get a couple of those, whatever it was that they wanted, and it was you only talked about it 10 times in the last 2 weeks. So anyway, so that's time is of the essence a lot of times with in sales too. So one thing that I did learn from my old boss when I was selling cars is, and I still talk about this, the first one to talk loses. So I used to say, people say, how much is the car? I go 15,995. And then I would just wait and let them, think about that. And then if they talked first, then I knew that I would have a sale. And I sold a lot of cars in 5 years. So same kind of thing with Pampered Chef. You give them a price. They might come back. They might ask you, as long as they're asking questions and you can overcome any objections that they might have. It's too expensive. That's another, it's the same thing as don't having a budget. We don't have the budgets. Well, it's too expensive. We know exactly what we can say to it's too expensive. We'll host a party or become a consultant. I'm kind of glad. I don't know what anybody else is like. I'm kind of glad that they did away. Hey, Patty, that they did away with the big things and the kits because that cuts down on the kidnappers and hopefully weeds out the ones that really want to be here and not just there for a blender or an air fryer or whatever. So, um, Another thing that I was thinking about, that's no problem, Patty. We're just glad you're here. It's just very informal. We started a couple of minutes late, but I was just going over some of the objections that you might hear as a consultant, price, competitor relationships. So yeah, like let's say for instance, yeah, so you've got a blend. Well, we don't have a blender anymore. You got an air fryer, your air fryer, oven. I can get that at Costco. Same kind of thing. Yes, but it doesn't come with me, the consultant. Do you go to Costco and ask your consultant or your salesperson at Costco, can you give me some recipes for the air fryer that I just bought? And are you going to be there to stand behind your warranty and all those fun things? Um, um, I was thinking of the air fryer when I was writing this up. So one of the big things when the new air fryer came out was the fact that it didn't have a rotisserie. Now they did a lot of research into the air fryer, and they were finding that the majority of people weren't using the rotisserie. I, for one, I did use it, not as much as I should have, but I just found it was kind of really friggy to get the chicken in there properly and to get it working. But so don't lie about your products. If people say, well, it doesn't have a rotisserie, like how am I gonna? Well, it also wasn't able to do, like our old one wasn't able to do a 6 pound chicken or sync my vegetables to have them done at the same time that my chicken is being cooked in my air fryer now. Hi, Kellyanne. And so don't lie about the products. So, but just try and come back with something positive that we know about them. So, like our old model couldn't sync your food to be ready at the same time, which is a big thing that I find. And so it's like I like to say it's like going for an interview and trying to make anything that you have negative about yourself or your product and turn it into a positive. I remember being asked for to think, I can't remember exactly how he said it, something like, what would you say is your worst trait? Not trait, I don't even know what he says, but something worse, something bad about yourself. And I said, I'm a perfectionist. So technically, it sounds like it's not a good thing to have, but I think in the back of their minds are thinking, oh, okay, well, things are going to get done, nicely. It's going to look good and things are going to get done well. So same with Pampered Chef. Um, don't, if it's a negative, try and turn it into a positive. I always use the analogy too, so we'll talk about bookings for a minute. Um, the go for the no. So I know a lot of people, it used to be, I think the ratio used to be for every 10 asks, we get one booking. And now it's probably more like 1 in 100. I don't know if you gals have been seeing that, but I did. So back in August, I think it was, or maybe, I think it was August, I did that pick a number between one and, um, I don't know, one and whatever, 1 and 250. And I was doing boxes, two boxes of products, and I had over 210 responses to that. I sent out messages to almost everybody, and I booked, and it doesn't sound like a lot, but I did book 16 parties from that little thing. I haven't drawn for the two boxes yet because I still have parties in October that I'm finishing up. So for every one that booked a party, I gave them 10 extra ballots. So that's still happening. But I went for the no's. Like a lot of them would say no. And again, preaching to the choir, is that a no for right now, or is that a no for forever? Because a lot of times they'll come back and they go, well, no, check back in November or whatever. And I go, well, that's great. That's close to Christmas, but I know my November books up really fast. So maybe we could tentatively book a party and just have you on the books so that you have a spot. So that's always been my motto as well. I use the analogy, like I was going to say, of serving pie. I'm a waitress at Pizza Delight, and everybody's just had their meal, and I go around to see if they want dessert First three tables say no, don't want any dessert. I don't go back in the kitchen and boo-hoo that nobody's eaten dessert to finish off their meal. I just go to table number four, and at table number four, three people want pie. So, don't give up just as you're climbing the mountain and you're just getting to the top and you're ready to book a few shows just on the other side of the mountain that you're climbing. So yeah, so people do like to drag their feet, and like I said, that is when you're going to put a little bit of a, we got to get this done because this sale is over, or this, it's going to be Christmas before you know it, and yeah, so there's always a kind of a hint of I don't even know the word I'm looking for. What's the word I'm looking for, Patty? Um, you got to get it done. You want to make sure that you get things done. You don't let it go by and the sale is over and like, man, I should have got that sale that Jennifer was talking about, yesterday for the last 4 days. But anyway, let me just see here. Fortune is in the follow-up. That's another thing we like to say. Um, so this texting bundle party that I had going on had some ladies say, not sure if I want to do any of these bundles, but maybe I'll do an order from the catalog. So sent them the catalog link personally. And then like the lady I just got off the phone with for 40 minutes, she had a $260 order. None of them were bundles, but she just went through the catalog. And another lady was $209, I think, too, just before her. So that is something that you can always make sure that you go back and follow up when people are asking you questions and keep track. If you do a spreadsheet or like me, I'm just a paper gal. So I know things can be easier on spreadsheets, but sometimes I like to have just the paper in front of me. And yeah, so big thing, know, like, and trust is one of our biggest things. And like I said, with this lady that I talked to for 40 minutes, she said, I need some more things. And now that I am reconnected with you, I will be reaching out. So I know that I have sales coming up with her in the future. And that's a great 40 minutes of my time was well spent there this evening, even though I was trying to get ready for for this little thing. So anybody have any questions? Everybody's quiet, tired. How's everybody's month going? Patty, you got a good month going? Did you do the bundles?
I did the bundles and they didn't go very well.
No.
I think I had $400 in sales,
Mm-hmm.
but it's 400 that I wouldn't have had.
Right.
And then I did an in-house party last Wednesday
Mm-hmm.
and it was fabulous. It was just phenomenal. I made a lot of connections with people and the hostess has 380 in free product and
That's
we'll
awesome.
close that. Yeah, we'll close that up. And I also spent 45 minutes with her aunt on the phone today, telling me about
Awesome.
all of the negatives of all the things she's bought. But after I was finished, she placed a $280 order.
That's
So,
right. So you
yeah,
overcame some objections.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that was great. I'd love to do more of those parties, and hopefully, I'll get some from that party. I want
Right.
one October, November, December. So, I know that they're all the same group of women, but they
Mm-hmm.
must have other friends as
Oh,
well.
absolutely. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah. So, yeah, I just went green today. So,
That's
quite happy
awesome.
about that. Yeah. Yeah. It was probably the hardest month that I've ever had. So, I don't know, everything came easy to me up until this point, and then all of a sudden it just
And
kind of
that's hard
died.
too, right? Because you think
Yeah.
it's when it was during COVID, like the fish were jumping in the boat. That's what I always say. The fish were jumping in the boat,
Yeah.
and people were wanting parties because they were all home and that type of thing. So Yeah, so when it really, the whatever hits the fan, that's when
Yeah.
you know it's a job. And if it was easy, everybody would be doing it, right? Everybody would be
Yes.
doing it. So
Yeah.
yeah. So like I said, I pray that I'm still a director on October 1st. I have
You will
about
be.
12 or $1,300 to go, but I'm off tomorrow. So yeah. How about you, Kellyanne?
Um, life is life. So
Yeah.
I just want to backtrack to Patty. Your in-house party that you had, you might get them saying, well, we all have the same friends. You know, a lot of people will say that we're in the same group. They are in the same group, but they do have other friends. Their family is not in that group. So don't let that kind of deter you from, trying to get more out of that group of people.
Absolutely.
Definitely. I'm going to try. I'm following up with everyone that was there, and it was at a house like I've never been in a house like this in my life. So the you walk into the porch. The porch was as big as my living room, and it was gorgeous, and they were all welcoming, and so uh it wasn't the lady, she didn't own this house. It was her father-in-law's house, and her mother-in-law had passed away about 10 years prior, and she had they all work for him, so they were like all of his staff was there, and they were just wonderful to be around. And I spent about 3.5 hours there. We played bingo. I made some new friends, and I had a ball. So it was great. But yeah, I said I want parties from you guys, October, November, December, and we have so many great specials coming out. How can they not want to have it? So I'm more excited for October than anything.
What did
So
you make? What did you make, Patty?
I made a chicken bacon pasta with no yolk noodles, mushrooms. And the girl who was hosting the party, she had a lot of pampered chef. So she had the quick slice, and everybody used the mandolin, the quick slice, the peppercorn. I had the
Nice.
stainless steel cookware. Everybody took part in the cooking. So it was so wonderful. Everybody ate. And I also made fried potatoes, carrots, and onions with bacon grease.
Oh, good for you.
And
That's
that was a
awesome.
huge hit.
Yeah.
That was like, we haven't eaten that in so long. And
Just like
so
mom
it was,
used to make.
yeah, yeah. And the gentleman who owns the business and the house, he put aside two little plates for himself for later in the
Yeah.
evening for when everybody was gone. So he had a treat
Nice.
in the night.
Good for
Yeah, so
him.
so
That's
it was really
awesome.
good. Yeah,
Good
yeah.
stuff.
If I could just have more fall into my lap like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I love a good in-home party. I love in-home parties.
Yeah, like the house was incredible. Like there was this huge island behind, in the back was this beautiful cooktop, huge cupboard, beautiful cupboards, and just gorgeous. And then this huge island that everybody could stand around. And then the table behind that could seat 14 people. So
Nice.
yeah, so yeah, I didn't want to leave, but I had to.
Mhm.
Yeah. So it was great.
That's
Great
good. That's
experience.
good.
Yeah.
Well, girls, that's all I got.
Thank
Thank
you
you.
very much, Jen, so much. It was a great way for me to send off here. For those watching the replay, I will post it on my YouTube channel, but I will be passing off all of the Monday meetings to Kellyanne, so you will see her and her link. Um,
Nice.
sure. I don't know how we're gonna go onto if whether it be on my YouTube channel or we end up sort of switching some stuff, but we will figure that all out for you guys, so you can look forward to seeing what Kellyanne posts for October there.
Kellyanne, I'm not going to take anything on just yet. I just want to make sure that I'm still got the title that I have today before I offer anything up. So, yeah, that's where I'm at. Alrighty, girls.
Thank you.
Nighty night. Thanks, Patty.